What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Some people might be getting a notification because for a second time tonight, because I was live twice now. And I do that on Tuesdays because I live up to the 2 for Tuesday. That's my goal in life, is to really dedicate myself to that hashtag. So I'm Justin No Good Comics, and with me, as always, I'm getting better at this pointing thing, is John's Comics with Kids. What's going on, John?
Hey guys, how's it going? We were messing around a lot backstage, so I don't know what's going to happen tonight. There's shenanigans. It's a lot of shenanigans.
Some random Snyder Cut discussions and all that other stuff. And then we also have our good friend and a longtime fan of the show, Chet.
I would say like a co-star of the show.
He really is. He really is. What's up, Chet? What's going on?
Things are good, guys. The backstage stuff is always a good lead up to what we're doing now. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad we got a good issue. I know both of you are a little on the lesser side when it comes to Banshee, so I had to be here for him.
That's fair. That's fair.
He steps up big this week. Absolutely.
He is an MVP here. I want to say too, as always, guys, anyone that's catching the replay, if you guys don't follow Chet, please take a moment to make sure you follow him. I put his information in the description below, as always, and of course, John's information is there as well, so that you can catch all of our other shows that go back and forth. As next episode will be over.
I feel like we need to have Chet's info on every video for this series now. just every time. He's basically sponsoring this show.
I mean, speaking of sponsors,
tonight.
Oh, let's see that.
No way. 9.8. Look at him.
Yes, Justin, the lighting is off because that's actually a yellow label.
Oh, and what the heck?
White pages, too.
That is nice. That is nice.
Thank you.
White pages. That is a beast.
Yep.
It's not the signed one that I really desire, but I can't find it right now, so you know how that goes.
That's all good. One day, I'm sure you'll have it.
It is my density.
So let's just say a quick hello to the chat before we go any further. We got Magic Lasso in the house, and he's always got his signature line here. It's X-Men time. Question: Who is Magneto's favorite mutant during the holiday season? Answer: Mistletoe Toad.
Wow.
Good to see you, Lasso. Always a pleasure, my friend. Let's see. We have Ruben Guzman in the house. Hello, Cowabunga. And we also got Brandon in the house, Comics Kings. What's going on, brother? Here for the storm. I mean the show.
Same. It's the same for me. Either one.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Jackson Roy Kirk in the house. Always a pleasure to see you. Beta Ray in the house as well. What's up, Beta? Let's see. We got Kelly. Oh, and it just jumped on me. Kelly Harmon in the house. Spells and Monsters over on Instagram. Good to see you, Kelly. I hope you're caught up, Kelly, because I know you're having some issues with the app. She ended up reading Carmen instead of this issue, but hopefully she's still caught up to this.
Yeah, spoilers for a 50-year-old comic.
Yeah, just in case. Off-World Adam, what's going on? Hello. Greetings. I think you just subbed me up recently, so I appreciate you, man. I will make sure to hit you back. Saw you over on Shamaro's YouTube channel just before.
Oh, nice.
So very cool. Kelly says I'm not. Tisk. That's all right. We're gonna walk you through it, so you'll get through it. Very cool. Hey, just a quick reminder. We have a couple things that we raffle. That we're going to be raffling, I should say. So this is one of the things. So anybody who's new here or newish, we do this at the end of this episode where we're going to ask questions based on last issue's episode. So tonight we are talking about issue 119. So the questions to potentially get in the raffle for this are going to be about 118. So I hope you did your homework. Hope you watched our video last week because we may ask, like what T-shirt we were wearing or something crazy like that. So
Iron Man today.
And there you go.
We're going Avengers with Chet on me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Spidey and Iron Man.
Man. I could have worn some Hulk or something. So this is one of the things we have, and then of course John's going to have a mystery X-Men box that he'll be giving away, and probably in the next couple of months, right, John? We're going to have.
Yeah, we're coming down on. I mean, the final episode of this Omni is going to supposedly happen at the end of June, so we're winding down.
Yeah, for sure. So just keep that in mind, guys, and stick around for after this breakdown because we will be getting into those questions. We have a good solid four that we'll be going through. Quick hello to Mac McFly. Hello. Sorry, Marv McFly. Good to see you.
You see, Brandon asked the question, if Claremont and John Byrne came out of retirement, what would you guys like to see them do other than X-Men stuff? And that's a tricky question, man. That is, that's some deep weeds right there.
I have my answer.
Oh, do you? I'd love to hear it.
I guess probably because it hasn't been done yet, but I guess bring them on to the Hickman run for a few issues, see what happens there. I mean, I guess it might be a little redundant for some X-readers, but based on the new material they have to work with and everything, it could be pretty exciting.
I always loved the way Claremont played in the New Mutants world. The idea of those young gentlemen and women coming up in the ranks, and I think that would be a lot of fun. But if you're going outside of X-Men, I was talking with Brandon about New Teen Titans earlier today, and that crossover with X-Men and New Teen Titans was always a lot of fun. I always felt like the teams had a lot in common, and the chemistry and personalities involved. People that liked Cyclops generally liked Dick Grayson as the leader of the New Teen Titans, and that's how I fell out. I love Dick Grayson's the coolest.
You could arguably make the point or the case for, I mean, I know for me, when that Tales of the New Teen Titans was out, so was the Uncanny X-Men, and they were 1 and 2 back and forth in my book at the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those stories were really well written, and obviously we all like George Perez. So
yeah, I mean, if you can't get Byrne and Claremont, then Perez and Wolfman is really not a step. That's a lateral move, right? It's
not a step down at all.
I might explore that. I know you were mentioning it before, John. I think I'm going to explore.
Honestly, I went straight to my shop today when I was getting books, looking, because Marv Wolfman lives near enough by my shop that he sometimes pops in and signs things.
Whoa!
And you can sometimes pull a New Teen Titans collected volume off the shelf, just brand new, and it's got his signature on the inside. I checked to see if they had a volume 1 signed, and they don't. But the next time they do, I'll grab one for you.
Cool.
I've got the first 4, I think, volumes all signed by him, the trades. Really, he's just honestly one of the nicest guys I've met.
That's awesome.
I think Brandon was saying before that he almost got in a car accident with Marv Wolfman, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yes. That was great. That was hilarious.
I want to say a quick hello to Eric in the house. Azor's Tiger, he was just our guest last week. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. We'll have you back on the show, I'm sure, very soon. TJ Slapdragon Watson, what's going on, TJ? He's talking some Alpha Flight.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
We were talking about Alpha Flight before earlier, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got Alec joining us for issue 121 in 2 weeks, which is the first Alpha Flight, right? First full.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Roy Kirk says FF. Michelle's here. Hello. Just popping in for a quick minute. Good to see you, Michelle. So Doom Patrol, for Lasso here.
That would be cool. I think Claremont's done really well with teams.
Yeah.
Some writers like Donny Cates gets a lot of flack because not really able to handle teams as well, but obviously that's in Claremont's wheelhouse. So I would naturally look for teams like that.
Marv is asking, where's your shop? I'm not sure who
I go to Nuclear Comics, and that's in Orange County, California. Azores, Eric comes by there sometimes.
There you go. TJ said that the run on Titans was was just as good as X-Men.
No, let's not go that far now, Charlie.
I was trying to tell Justin that it's
come on, TJ.
It's definitely like goofier and sillier. And the costumes are bonkers. Like the deep V on Nightwing when he first rolls out, hilarious. Yeah. And then of course the like dominatrix wear of Starfire, like it's hilarious. So as nostalgia, you read it with a little bit of tongue in cheek. I think you have you can have a laugh at the style of it.
Right.
Not that we don't have a laugh at this from time to time.
Well, right.
No, yeah. At my expense, of course.
All right, so let's dive into this. We are talking about issue 119 now. We had just left off with kind of a cliffhanger. Obviously the team is back in Japan, and some things went down. So before we get into all that, let's just get an overview of what you guys thought. We'll start with you, John. Ultimately, what would you grade this issue, and what did you think?
It's a tricky one because I feel like this is like a pastiche of kind of like a couple of different stories kind of put together. The action sequences are very exciting, and it feels like a classically like mid-70s Bond movie in some ways, with like the volcano layer, right? The secret volcano layer, the plan to destroy Earth that's kind of vague. Like, what is your goal here? Like, what is your get? What are you trying to do here?
Right.
But I do love the Christmas vibes at the end. There's some stuff at the end that hits the feels real nicely for me. Yeah. That is the best stuff for me. I'd probably give this like an 8.5 maybe out of 10, somewhere in that range. 8.5 sounds fair.
I think that's very fair. Chet, what do you think?
I think obviously I'm not going to go as low as John, because I'll tell you what I did dig about this book. Well, you guys knew that already, so that's like common knowledge. But I mean, this book had it for me in terms of like dramatic like entrances and like just like the whole like Mission Impossible vibe in the beginning. Like they, going deep undercover, trying to infiltrate this fortress and get to this guy where he can't see them and almost kill themselves in the process. And,
right.
And then, going through it, there's enough action. It's very wordy, but everything's being explained and so forth. You even get a lot of references to old Moses Magnum whereabouts and what should have become of him and so forth. But in this book, I think from the beginning with the infiltration and the action, and like John said, towards the end, the feels you get from it overall, it makes it a complete read, you know? So I think I'll give this one a 9 too.
I like that. I think that's fair too. I think I'm falling around the 8.5 range myself. I do think, ultimately it was just it's well put together with the fact that we get a couple of different stories, and I do like that. I love the holiday scenes at the end, things like that. Like that is some of my favorite. I don't know. I mean, like we talk about the baseball scenes in past issues and other holiday scenes and things like that. I just always love seeing that side of the characters. So, that's always a big plus. And yeah, the 007 kind of vibes are cool too. Certain characters get a little bit of a highlight that's nice. And we'll get into, seeing some of the slides. So yeah, that 8.5, 9 range for me, I think is a fair deal. Is it was this John Byrne or was this a visit?
I thought it was Byrne. It's probably right there on his slab.
John Byrne, Terry Austin art. Cockerman Austin cover.
Okay, Cockerman.
Cockerman was still working on these covers for quite a while after leaving the main run.
Yeah. So speaking of the cover, let's bring that up and take a look here. So ultimately, what do you guys think, John?
It's a little busy for me. It's not one of my favorites. There's like a ton of things to kind of draw the eye. I wish that your eye went to like certain things that are powerful, like Sunfire on the ground and Storm standing over him. But I tend to kind of go to like whatever Colossus is doing, which is kind of abstract there. Banshee's coming in like total like sucker punch style, gonna just get him from behind. I love it. Wolverine with the claw raised in the background. So some of that negative space in the center back is my favorite stuff, but I think it's just really busy. That's my only complaint. There's your eye is sort of overwhelmed a little bit.
Yeah. What do you think, Chet?
Well, first of all, I'd like to point out that this book's cover, I guess, the title of the book itself, in terms of like the X-Men, won an Eagle Award at this point. So. And it says it on here too.
I saw that.
The Eagle Award. I don't know how it works, but it's an Eagle Award. So as far as I'm concerned, this book's a winner.
There you go.
I think that's
as far as the cover goes. Realistically, there's a lot of action. I think it could have been. I don't know. I think they should have gone a little bit more on the like how they attack Magneto. In that aspect, and maybe put that on the right side instead of just having both this dead center and everybody else scattered about. It just looks like it's a lot of clutter in one picture. A lot going on, but I think obviously my favorite part of this cover is the Eagle Award.
I was gonna say my favorite part is seeing Sunfire on the floor.
I forgot you have this love-hate thing, but
Sunfire knocked down.
That's always, since he's such a jerk usually.
TJ says John is now the new Alec. This is one of my favorite covers. TJ, You also really like the Suicide Squad movie, so we're just not going to go there. We're just not going to go.
We got Desired Comics in the house. Nigel, my man, what's going on, bro?
We got Morbius too.
And we got Morbius. I was just on a show with him. Good to see you, brother.
Big Morbius.
Eric says, why does Moses look like Maurice White from Earth, Wind, and Fire?
I just love the big collar, the big white collar he's got popped up.
The one thing with this cover is I feel like it's a little misleading in that, like, I don't know, if I never read the story and I just saw this for the first time, didn't know anything about anything, I just see the team attacking him, I would just think that, like, I would be expecting this really epic battle scene of the whole team really going at it with him.
Right.
And we don't really get that at all. I mean, there's a couple times they connect, but otherwise it's almost like when we were in the Savage Lands when the dude was running up the stairs, like, going to some, I mean, I get that he's going to something bigger and better, but like, it just, wasn't what that picture
is. Did you say the dude?
the
that
god
dude has a name, okay?
Gorok? Was it Gorok?
Garok.
Garok. We got TJ in the house. Thomas, what's going on, man? Good to see you. All right, so let's move on here.
I'm sorry, Justin.
Here's where we left off. Off to Save Japan, right? So we already got the hint as to kind of what needs to be done. We understand that Moses Magnum is this guy, right? I love the title of this issue, by the way. Twas the Night Before Christmas. We get this awesome splash page with Storm doing her thing, Nightcrawler hanging by her hand, and they're on a mission. They are on a mission here. So always love this. Probably my favorite in terms of splash pages or just artwork part of these panels.
I love the angle on it where you get the clouds, the blue and purple, and the clouds right up near the top, and then the volcano with the water, kind of that sea green, and the perspective on this is just cool.
Absolutely.
Looks like a fun picture, like Nightcrawler just chilling, hanging off of her arm.
Hell yeah. So then we got we get a little bit of the breakdown here. This is where Nightcrawler first is going in, and this is kind of the 007 stuff you're talking about. Can't quite do it like Wolverine. I even put the little screenshot there because just for some reference on the left. So
totally reminds you of this scene, and I think even Nightcrawler has like a line where he's like, "I don't think I can quite do what Logan or Wolverine does, but I'll do it my way."
I wish there was another way.
Right. I haven't this instinct for the jugular.
His instinct for the jugular. Yeah.
So I like that. Nightcrawler does it his way, and obviously he can get it done and not have to necessarily kill anybody. But those reactions are just great that we see.
Absolutely. Rod, what is up, man? Thanks for coming by, Rod.
Just a Rican in the house. Good to see you, brother. Any other thoughts on just kind of this opener? Seeing Nightcrawler here.
I think Chet hit it on the nail on the head with this sort of Mission Impossible style of this sequence where you get breaking in. There's like the team is split into units that are all trying to operate as a group, but like at the same time doing their individual tasks. So it does have that spy. I think when I said Bond, I think Mission Impossible actually fits a lot better because it's more of that team element.
That was my first thought, was Mission Impossible, like getting in, getting the rest of the team in or whatever. But Nightcrawler is just perfect for this, I think. And I think he navigates this solo mission pretty well here.
Yep.
Until.
Until. So we get this little bit of a background flashback, the briefing, I guess you could say, where the team's getting kind of the explanation. And I do like how this is set up. So we, again, because we were last issue, we were just left off with kind of, here's this guy, and it was kind of one of those, villain reveals, at the end of the issue. So we get a little bit more backstory on him. Magnum, when was his first? Last episode or issue was not his first appearance, right? This is refers to Spider-Man.
It says Giant Size Spider-Man 5, and something about
Power Man
Annual 1. Yeah.
Okay. Chet, are you familiar with those? Have you read those in the past?
I'm familiar with Power Man Annual 1. I've seen Giant Size Spider-Man 5, but I don't think I have that, so I don't know it too well. And I'm gonna dig it up once we're done, because I guess if we have so few appearances of Moses Magnum, we may as well see what they're all about.
It's true. This is very true.
It's funny how it's like tentacles that connect to something else, and then you got to read that one, and before long, you've got this spectrum of the Marvel universe.
They put them like 5-7 years apart most of the time, it seems, and I'm guessing this is right around that time, like right before.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah. So we get this plan that Moses has here, where he wants to essentially, take out Japan if he doesn't get what he's asking for, and so the team has to go in and obviously try to break this up. He has this layer on the right hand side here that they essentially have to sneak into or break into, and so that's kind of the overall mission. And as John mentioned, they are working as a team here to kind of, try to break into this place without. They're not necessarily just all going in at once. So here it is. So that we get the kind of the setup, the distraction, right? We're back into real time here. We see some more Misty Knight action going on.
I'm digging the turtleneck and the holster. Like it's a killer. She's got the Foxy Brown.
Yeah,
like Pam Grier is just
perfect.
It's so good, and I was obsessed with Pam Grier as a younger man, and I still am. I mean, it's Pam Grier. Let's be honest, but this is the best rendition in comics of Pam Grier that I'm ever going to find. She is spot on.
Co-sign on that.
I love it. Jackson White Kirk, did you read that? Yeah. So
yeah, those books will blow up when
Moses Spec. Yeah.
And this,
Moses.
Get your Moses now, ladies and gentlemen.
He's not on those covers, says Eric. So this would be his first cover appearance then.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Hilarious.
Oh, now I remember that giant.
Although
number 5. Okay.
Technically, he's in the issue before this, so this would be his 4th appearance, maybe something like that.
Cameo.
We'll get Studio 54.
50.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward as the team's trying to split up here, and Storm and Banshee kind of take the skies. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler that has been dropped off, as we've seen him now kind of creep through, and I love this shadow shot here.
Yeah.
Again, kind of showing that other power that we've kind of discovered as we've gone on with this issue or these issues.
Which I honestly, I feel like I'm learning or remembering about for the first time rereading it with you guys. Like I feel like my Nightcrawler knowledge has expanded a ton, just because I don't feel like they don't call back to this as much anymore. It doesn't seem to be something that comes up ever.
Yeah. Thomas is with you here with Pam, John.
I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, Jackie Brown. I mean, I'll watch Jackie Brown and fall in love with her all over again. Like it's just it happens.
So let's see. We as the team starts moving, and we devise this plan. The rest of the crew, as you can see at the top here, they're going underneath. They're going underwater, underwater. To try to go in that way, and you can see Cyclops. I really like that panel.
You know what? Before we started, I was looking at this, and I was saying that panel where they're all burning their way through
a tunnel.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
definitely.
Lots of different color work going on there. The perspective again, really, really interesting. Yeah,
you see the mask on Colossus. It's clear, and that art is. I mean, what can we say? John Byrne, Terry Austin. That's what we get with this, right?
And 100%. I obviously am going to geek on that Storm drawing. I mean, it's basically a poster at this point. Like she's just full pose, the wind, the colors, it's just it's sad that I'm only sad that it's like a quarter page or eighth page.
I was going to say, I had to blow it up a little because it was much smaller.
It's so good. It's so good.
So I like that the team here has these little clear masks on. Obviously it's very hot. You can see Cyclops is sweating. But like, let's be honest, his costume allows this much skin. Very true.
He's going to be sweating balls in that thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear like Colossus, where it's like all hanging out, basically.
He's all out.
Wolverine's just like, I've stood worse.
Right. He's like, I'm so hairy, it doesn't affect me.
As always. Misty is so sexy, Morbius says. There you go.
Facts.
So this is kind of, so the team is attacking from all these different angles, and we get into some of the action right away as well. At this top panel, they finally reach this point where let me note here too on the right that Nightcrawler is supposed to kind of give the signal to let the guys know where to actually blow up the floor to kind of go through. So that top panel now you see Cyclops and Sunfire kind of working together.
Yeah, they're very subtly breaking into the facility.
Blasting
a hole in the middle of this room.
That's not like a whisper noise either,
no.
right?
Everything was really subtle until right now. It's going to blast the hole in the floor.
I mean, that's Sunfire for you, That's how he rolls.
That's how he does roll. I will say that I'm frustrated by the perspective on Moses' arm when he grabs Colossus. Like, it doesn't seem connected to his body, and it seems like way too long. If you look at where his hand is at the back of Colossus's neck, because he's supposed to be grabbing him like a feral cat. You're just lifting him up by the neck.
I'm trying to find that angle right now, and
it's just way too long.
I think the arm might be turned in a little. No, you can't. You're right.
You can see the fingers on the neck. He just basically grabbed him and lifted him out. Like, so that irked me a little bit, but I let it go right away. But like that's a piece of that's definitely a not. And that's an unusual style of art for these guys. That's not normal. They usually are so much better at that.
Yeah, the rest of the picture is fine.
Oh yeah,
totally. I
love Colossus looking like the cat they got picked. He's like, oh, I can't. He got my neck. I can't move. He's doing the like, oh, I can't fight this. Like, just reach around behind him and break his arm, man. You got the metal. Just do it.
So
Colossus.
Yeah.
When I looked at this, I thought he was punching him in the back, but now that you point out the finger, I didn't notice that before. And you're right, it is too long.
He lifts him again. Then the next panel, he throws him.
Right.
No, I think he clobbers him.
But you see the thumb.
because Colossus later says that.
I took it as a lift and that not being a punch, but being a throw. But maybe his hand looks closed, so maybe you're right.
Well, look,
maybe he lifts him and then
the right hand was holding up Colossus, right?
Lasso.
And he swings through with the left hand, so the right hand is lower. Yeah, he's swinging at him. I've never heard a throw say wham.
Yeah, so must have lifted him up and then hit him. That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, he lifted him with the right and slugged him with the left.
And it says whammo.
Yeah, and Colossus states after, he goes, that punch.
There you go. You're right.
When I've been hit so much.
This is why we have Chet.
Yep, this is why. I don't know. Lasso here holds up a good point that it could be that he's, getting a proctology exam face.
We haven't hit the bottom floor yet, I see.
No, there's always another level.
Did anyone notice notice Polaris and Jean share a panel? There's some love there.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, I do. This was cool, like seeing Colossus, like the way he like flew back and then just barely grabbed this edge of the cliff here. I just thought that was a cool kind of
he's
way
creating fire with his fingers.
Yeah.
Looking across the ground.
Yep.
Scram.
Even in that like last panel with the little cliff's edge, you can see a little flame still flickering up.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I like Colossus saying, "By the White Wolf, I did it."
This is good for him though, because we've seen him get tossed around like no big deal, and then I guess it took something like this for him to realize, geez. And he says it. I keep letting my teammates down. No more. So.
He's had a few issues where he got pounded pretty rough. But then he'd had a few issues in a row where nobody could stop him. He was just the heavy thunder.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of that here, where kind of what we're seeing, like you mentioned, Chet, where he's like thinking in his head, like he's letting the team down. We do get to see his, a little bit of redemption,
right?
A few panels later. I think it's actually this is so this is where he's like talking to himself. He realizes that he's just not up to par with what he normally can do for the team and feels like he's let them down. So seeing him get up, that was like his kind of motivation scene. Meanwhile, you see the team, I guess here is kind of where you see the cover, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Sunfire's in the air, but other than that, everyone is like kind of shooting beams and attacking, and so I guess that little glimpse is kind of cool. Here's that time that Wolverine gets decked. He gets backhanded by Moses there at the top. So, that was kind of brutal. But
the way Cyclops describes that, my God, he decked Wolverine like he's never seen that before.
Right.
Wow.
Krakow. I mean, when you hear a Krakow kind of sound, that's gotta be.
I'd like to point something out. We see Krakow again in this issue.
Oh yeah.
Later on, we see it again.
Yes, I think this is the book. I'm pretty sure of it now.
Marv says, Chet, you're the man, Poppy. There you go.
Thank you, Marv. Oh, that's my ex-coworker. That's my buddy Marvin. I remember him.
Nice,
Marvin.
nice. Marvin says keyword subtly. Yes. So let's see so then Sunfire, he's gonna blast from the outside, says it goes to the opening. And meanwhile, Banshee, this is where kind of Banshee starts to step in as kind of a key role here.
Yes.
Let me see. This was right. So I guess this is kind of the redemption part that I was seeing for Colossus and
I love that shot of him just leaping into the droids, leaping into that fight. I didn't realize how big his high heels were on those boots, but he really is going for it.
That's why he's so tall.
He really wants to show Logan up. Let's just be honest. He's like, I'm going to get a couple more inches on this guy. He's really going to look tiny. But look at that leap. That's the art, the action pose kind of stuff we're used to seeing, I think, from Byrne, and just seeing him dive right in, just laying into those droids is cool.
And what were the names of these droids again?
I don't remember.
Oh.
This has a very like Battlestar Galactica look to it too, with the bad guy's suit and the look of the droids. Has a very fun like Battlestar look, which I dig on too.
Nice. I like that stance that he has on the bottom here. Colossus kind of like punching one while throwing the other.
Yeah,
whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
And then ultimately just chucking the one guy on the bottom right. I think that's really cool.
Totally.
Always good to see the Colossus action moves here.
Especially when they're drawn right.
Well, yeah, that's definitely important. Where the Farouk does this guy think he's going? So this is what I'm talking about with the running away thing, man. I mean, I get it. I get it that he's going off to this platform that he needs to get to. But holy Farouk, man.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Like taking a villain running class.
Right. You got to know when to flee, right? Know when to flee. I think that's the key.
That high point before everybody else does.
So yeah, we get this is now the scene, right, that builds up where Banshee's the only one he sees that he's taken off like this.
Yet another villain who goes to that special part of their lair where they can draw more power and do the devious thing, whatever the thing is.
Build a Stargate in 10 minutes.
Right. The Stargate, that's so good. Such a great moment. That's a resume item, right? I can build a Stargate in 10 minutes. What can you do?
Galactic terrorist. I built a Stargate in 9.7 minutes.
What can you do?
I like here Banshee saying he's too slow. Curse of the luck. He got away. Always referencing some Irish in him. So this is where he's realizing it's on him to kind of save the day here. It's a long shot. The rest of the team's on foot. And they're fighting the mandroids. I guess Storm could have done something, but she's busy fighting them too down on the floor. We talk about the energy blast, right? Because that was this whole thing, right? I think he talks about
if you mess with me, I'm going to destroy Japan. That was basically, I don't know I still don't understand what he wants. Like, what is his goal here? What does he want?
I forget exactly what that was, but I think that was explained in one of these dialogues.
Oh yeah, I know. It's $1 million.
You got your pinky in your mouth, too. So exactly what it was.
So this is where he explains he says, he goes, a long shot. He goes, I'm the only X-Man that has a prayer stopping him. He goes, wait a minute. I remember Mr. Osama said that the scientists figured that the quake was triggered by an intense beam of energy. He said on the radio, I heard Sunfire screaming about Magnum firing an energy blast. So that's like the plan. So he understands that he can stop that part. So he's up, he's going to go after him here, and we get a little bit more running scene. Oh, I just jumped the gun. A little bit more of a running scene here as he gets to this. Let's see. Does he explain it here? The Moses Magnum is not to be trifled.
He's monologuing.
Explaining. So the laser drill, that's what it is. He's gonna do his energy blast. This laser drill is supposed to shoot down into the ground to take out, to proceed with his plan of taking out Japan. So it's a laser drill, but luckily, as you can see, Banshee, this is where he really saves the day and hits him with his energy blast that takes out that whole. I mean, that's a big. I assume that's a really big rock, right? That's the whole.
It's a volcano, yeah.
Yeah, the whole mountain or volcano.
They're saying also, Justin, I'm just quick reading. They're saying he actually succeeded in that laser drill thing back in Power Man Annual 1. So, but and then they said he should have died, but as he fell, the laser beam, the exotic weaponry of his combat suit, the elemental force, that's what gave him his power.
Yes, because he's changed. His abilities have changed since we saw him last, and that's why he's able to stand toe to toe with so many of the X-Men in this, and not just be cut into a pulp.
Sunfire said that in this too. He said, "What's wrong? What's up with this guy? How's he so powerful?" In his log, he's listed as a normal man. So now they walked into that as a surprise, not knowing.
So there's the kind of the secret. Nonetheless, we have Banshee just take everything out once he goes nuts as he brings the noise, and you really see his face expression.
This is cool. I will say, like, Chet had mentioned a bunch of times that this is if you want to see Banshee and what he can do, this is the issue, and I totally agree. I think they do a really good job of showing not only the strain on him from his ability, but what his ability can accomplish when utilized to the sort of max.
Yeah. Also, if you, who was it that just mentioned Colossus and his fingers in there? That straight across panel where all of them are covering their ears, Colossus definitely wins in this case. You got two big metal plugs in each metal ear. That's winning.
You're going to vibrate more. Wouldn't you just go back to the human form? You'd probably be better protected. I'm just going to say.
I know, but it's just, look at that.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it's hilarious.
I've used that on my girlfriend. She said something to me.
La, 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 la. I'm not listening.
And it's like, here, I'll send you this picture. Now you know what I'm thinking.
That's great. Well, we get this.
Don't take a page from my book with that, by the way. You'll get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So we get this big Krakoom explosion, and I want to make note of this because there's something I want to talk about as we get to kind of the graded stuff, that topic. But just keep note of that one panel there. But so that's the big explosion, as you can see. The volcano blowing up, and Sunfire,
Krakoom, not Krakow.
Krakoom. Krakoom. And then we're kind of like, that's kind of it. Like it blows up, and then the team is just on this. What is it? It's a rock.
That's a little piece of the island that somehow didn't sink.
Yeah. And this is the one. This is the one time where Sunfire kind of comes in handy because he's just super bright, and so he's finally doing something. So they kind of use him as a human flare, and Misty comes and saves the day thanks to the brightness of Sunfire. So that's a special moment. Shout out to any the Sunfire.
It's the one time Sunfire shines in this entire episode.
So just something to note, you do see Banshee. He's on the floor. He is not in good shape. He clearly had to do some work there to really take out a whole volcano. If we really think about the power that he had to do or give in order to do that. Clearly he's not in good shape. Let's see. Roy Kirk says it took a day of the weather to calm. Was Storm knocked out? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
She's having an off day, clearly.
Yeah, she's just So then from there, we kind of flash forward now after they're rescued and everything. The scene's over with, and we go on. This is days later, and they're back in Japan, and Banshee bringing too much noise. He is very concerned with the team. The team was there for him originally when he was in the hospital, but now that it's his time to actually leave, he's looking around, and no one is actually there to take him. I also just realized I wrote Supurse. Not sure what Supurse is, but they were all Supurse.
I will say too, like, I love that he's thinking about his booty call. He's like, "Where's my girl?"
Yeah.
He's like, Moira. I'm thinking about Moira. I got to get back to Moira. I need some Moira.
And even at the end, he's like, no. He's like, oh, what do you say? He says, dash it. No, it's not a little thing. They're my friends, and they should have to meet me here. So he really wants this. And then, of course, they all have a nice surprise. Welcome back. Merry Christmas. Which is kind of, some of the extra fun stuff that I always like to see.
Absolutely.
They take away. They give you both sides with this team, and it's always you get the mission team that's always out doing something to save the world, and then before you know it, they're back being as human as they can be. And in certain cases like this, I guess they do it in an emotional sense. Mm-hmm. They get the reader hooked on what's actually going through that person's head, and then they just show you the family. So that's one of the reasons I appreciate the X-Men so much, because at the end of the day, it's all about family with them, and it's not always the superhero mutant side.
No, not at all.
I think you're spot on. Roy Kirk was saying too, another 10 days, they're still hurrying home from the mansion to the mansion.
By this point, Xavier's dead. Magneto killed him. Like he's dead. I mean, even if they'd left immediately, he'd still be dead. I think they've kind of figured that either he's dead or he's alive. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's just take our time and enjoy Japan.
It is the holidays, so,
right.
We get a little bit of something extra here. Banshee with the sore throat. Cyclops just offering him some punch. I thought that was interesting.
I also love that Wolverine is the only one in full gear. Like, what are you doing, man?
He's always ready.
It's Christmas. Put on the freaking green sweater already, man. What the hell's wrong with you? And Wolverine's like, hey, just if Marco comes by, I want to be, looking good. I look better than this. Look at me.
Yeah, he's going for the girl, man. He's got to be
clearly doing it for her. He is clearly doing this for a woman.
Showing
this
off
is
the
not.
bicep,
He's like Christmas Schmishmas, like it's about the lady.
Yep.
Hilarious. Like Sunfire's cousin. That'll shut him up.
Yeah, right. So funny though.
What do you guys think of this? We see, Storm here, just kind of appreciating the team, kind of giving some hugs and checking on the rest of the team here. You see,
I love her kimono. See, Storm is like, when in Rome, she's like, let me experience this culture a little bit. You guys in your stupid clothes and your costumes, I don't know what's happening here. I'm gonna go like native a little bit. Like, this is me. Like, check it out.
Yeah, she did it in the Savage Land. She's doing it here in Japan.
She's doing it, and then the kiss with Nightcrawler, I think is a sweet little moment. I dig it.
The panel with her and Colossus talking. Look at Nightcrawler's face. He's like,
he's still holding his cheek. He's like, what happened?
Like they carried that from the panel where he actually got kissed to the panel after to show you his reaction. Still,
so good.
It's a big step for him, man. Sunfire, my shining light. There you go, Morbius. So I like that we just kind of saw, and this is to her leadership, her kind of checking the team and also just letting them know, she appreciates them. I like that a lot. Just kind of seeing that moment there.
They tend to check on each other. Oh, hey, speaking of checking on,
holy
check that out.
You should get a comment from Brandon here.
Definitely still by accident.
I wanted to put it in red so people knew. I didn't want anyone to think that this was on purpose in any way.
Speaking of the Savage Lands, that is savage right there.
Well, this goes to what you're saying, John, about she's always embracing kind of the environment that she's in.
She's culturally aware, is what I would say.
There you go.
I just love that. Like there's a lot of times in these issues we've been reading where they're checking on each other. And it's not everybody, sometimes, Cyclops has his selfish, I got to grow a mustache moments. But you had Nightcrawler have these moments, Colossus, even Banshee having moments where they're really aware of the need for each other.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry, I was looking at Storm. What did you say, Jim?
Azor's Comics Kings. This is what I came for. Hey, Brandon, we live to make people happy.
All right, here's a little meanwhile for you. This is kind of the final flash into where we leave off. So We have Jean Grey. She's getting off the train here, and she's meeting the team, the other team. We see Jamie Maddox here. We haven't seen him in a little while. We have Alex. We have Moira and Lorna. So I love this one panel here. This kind of close up with her face, or both of them, really, I guess. So she's meeting up with the rest of the team. They're going to go out to kind of celebrate, but then they're all going to go back to Murr Island, and that's where Moira's been, keeping her secret lab going. And then, of course, we get a little flash over to the lab while they are all having fun and getting to see each other for the first time in a long time. This guy breaks in, and Angus McWhorter. Angus McWhorter. And do we remember him? You guys remember him from that other issue?
Spec alert! Like, I've been collecting this guy's first appearances for years.
This is the guy from the boat back in '98 or '97.
Yeah.
Not yet. Oh yeah, was it that far back? 97? Oh.
Yep. So was it 104 with Magneto?
Oh no, that's what it was. 104.
It was the one. Yeah, it was the island when they were the island.
There it is. They mentioned. I just see it there. They mentioned it there. Yeah. So and we get yeah, they do on the Mutant X panel. They actually put it.
Magic Lasso.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
It's Angus McSquirter.
Oh God!
It's not Angus. It's Angus McSquirter.
We're gonna get a R rating on us next time.
By the way, this show is not for children.
Yeah. No. 104. So we get that's another time now that we see the Mutant X, door frame there. The little label, and now he's in here because he's upset still, right, from this whole last time. They didn't pay in full or whatever. So he's going in, and then he ends up getting attacked. And before he could even say anything, all we see here is his face, and this creature, this whatever this is, says, "Human, I need you." And he says, "Oh my God!" And I know the last panel says before he could even scream, or he couldn't even make a sound, is what it was.
He doesn't even have time to scream. You're close enough.
Yeah, there it is. And then we wrap it off with Merry Christmas.
I love that.
I love the last sentence. Muir Isle, Christmas Day. A life ends and a nightmare is born.
Yeah, that's great. That is a great line towards the end there. Morbius said, didn't Banshee's sore throat cause him to lose his mutant sonic scream and eventually lead to him Yeah, it did.
Exactly. Yeah.
Spoilers. Come on, Morbius. Come on, man.
Jeez, man.
Ruin it for everybody. He does. That is the direction that it kind of goes. It's a much more heavier thing than people.
Once he loses his powers, my man is relegated to a pistol.
You're right. I mean, it works for Moira. It works for Moira.
Yeah, but he's not Moira. You can't.
Yeah.
He's just flying and screaming.
It's very different than like Misty Knight pulling her Saturday Night Special on one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Very different.
Cosmic being,
right? I don't know that Banshee has that chutzpah to pull that off.
At that point, are we calling it chutzpah? What is that?
I don't know what we call it. It's that redheaded spirit.
There you go. So this is where we kind of leave off here. So we'll have to see where that goes. I'm not sure if we're going to dive right into where that goes or not, but definitely kind of a drop off here. So as we all mentioned in the beginning, these are kind of some of the different stories that are going on. We had a couple meanwhiles, throughout this issue. So you definitely got to pay attention. But I like that. I do like that. Kind of shuffle some things around.
Yeah, I mean, they've split up the team over the last, 8 or so issues with Xavier going one direction and Lorna and Alex another direction, and now Jean catching up with them, and our main team in Japan. Like, they've really been scattering the pieces, and little by little it starts to draw back together again over these next few, I don't know, like quite another couple of years of the comic.
Yeah.
Well, here are the numbers for X-Men 119. So no major key elements, but I did add that Sunfire is used as a flare gun. It's still a jerk. I think that those should have been highlighted a little more, but they weren't.
Hey, we got another 9.9 in existence on this bad boy.
Yeah, so I wanted to highlight that. That was a big one. And then there's 232 9.8, so there's definitely a good amount of 9.8s, and then of course almost 400 of the 9.6s and 350 for 9.4. So there's a good amount of them graded there up in the nines. And then
You said there was one 9.9?
One 9.9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
And then from there, the 9.8s go for about $200. So that's really reasonable compared to what we've been seeing otherwise.
Until you get to the next issue, it's like pricing wise, we've noticed it too. Like between a certain, it was like 118, 117, 118, 119.
I think this is the lowest, is 200 for a 9.8. I think this is the lowest of these, And
you
again,
don't want to know about the price for a 9.8 of the next issue.
Yeah.
That's woo.
Well,
Might not be of the next issue.
You may have to sell your giant size X-Men #1 just to get a shot at a 9.8 of the next issue.
How much is a 9.8 of 120?
Almost $4,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a beast.
Brandon and I have books at CGC right now. He shipped with me. And his 112 is likely going to end up a 9.8, I think, and it's getting signed by Claremont. My 120 is a 9.4, and it's getting signed by Claremont.
Oh, so hopefully it gets a little 9.6 bump, a little 9.6 love, maybe.
I want the 9.8 now that you're talking about.
Well, sure.
Right.
But the jump, we'll look at it next week, but the jump even from a 9.4 to a 9.6 is a beauty jump. That's a great jump.
Really? What's that one?
I think that's almost 3 times. I think it goes from like 300 to 800.
Nice.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's basically 300 to 800.
Well, I just want to remind you guys that this is the issue that Sunfire was used as a flare gun. So
Key.
it is something to consider.
Is that what that whole tiny little paragraph is explaining?
No. So what I want to point that out. So this I picked up from one of the apps. It says, while writer Claremont and artist Byrne had a notoriously continuous working relationship, this issue became a particular sore point between the creators. And Chet, I'm curious if you knew about this. The panel depicting the explosion of Magnum's island contains a sound blurb, "Krakoom," and that was what I was highlighting earlier. They said Byrne wanted the panel to run with no sound caption, believing the art itself was strong enough to convey the destruction. When the finished product contained a sound effect. When the finished product contained a sound effect, despite his asking for it not to be, Byrne was livid. A full 3 years later, Byrne was the writer and artist on whatever #1 is they're noting, which shows a similar large explosion. I think it was Alpha Flight. Shows a similar large explosion. The panel contained the editor's note stating how it would insult the intelligence of the reader to depict the sound effect. And then in parentheses says Byrne certainly could hold a grudge. That was 3 years later.
I'm sure they both did, man. For something so little.
I knew a little about that, Justin.
Yeah.
Because I think right around here is where they started beefing with each other. And then in the Alpha Flight, I'm pretty sure the panel they're talking about is the plane, when Sasquatch throws a plane and so forth. But a few issues after that, you got Byrne complaining about Claremont and the use of Colossus using all his strength to rip a tree out of a freaking root. So their relationship started to get a little tumultuous right around here.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Well, there you go. I just thought it was something interesting to kind of add in there, and I know that there were these frictions at some point. So it's interesting because it seems like it's small, but at the same time, I mean, Byrne feels the way he feels and doesn't want to insult the reader, which it's an interesting way to put it. So
interesting.
Yeah. And I think that wraps up everything that we have here. Yes. So we'll close that out. Great issue. Any final thoughts on this before we move on to the questions? John, anything that you want to add?
I would say I love that there are long. Sometimes you get like issues like this in a comic, and you feel like it was just like a cheap little one-issue story, like no importance. This random bad guy thrown in, it doesn't really matter. But this is clearly an example of a longer story happening here because the ramifications of this issue continue for a long time. If you want to say the reverberations, maybe that'd be a better way to say it. The sound reverberates from this issue for long after. And I think that's one of the things that's to Claremont's testament to Claremont, you know, I mean, wanting to tell a story beyond one issue, start a new issue. He wanted to do a real serialized, not serialized, the opposite of serialized, a real continuous story.
Yeah. Fair. Chet, what about you?
Well, I think it goes right in line with everything we've been reading, even if it's not as highly graded in terms of storyline. But I like this book a lot because even though Moses Magnum is not the most popular villain on the planet, I guess we got an obscure villain from Marvel's past or whatever that was mingled in, and we got to see him do some damage to a pretty well-running, well-oiled machine for the most part, and it basically took a member from them just beating him. So I like this issue a lot. Like I said, the infiltration at the beginning, the emotional stuff at the end, the death on Christmas Day on Muir Island that nobody knows about yet, and then what's coming from all of that. Like John said, the ramifications are pretty good.
Yeah,
or pretty severe.
Yeah. TJ saying Byrne is known for being a whiny little bee. And Eric is saying Moses Magnum for the MCU. So yeah, maybe that can happen. Brandon's saying, Chet, you want to know something about Moses Magnum? He brews his tea. There you go. Yeah. So I think you guys had said it perfectly. And again, I can't get over the Sunfire flare gun. I think it's great. So he really stepped up for this.
Hey, is it any worse than a magnetic force bubble?
No.
Oh,
but there's no wagon. There's no wagon.
Yeah,
I needed the flying wagon.
It's inside the bubble.
In the bubble, John. It's in the bubble. We'll get a T-shirt that says it was
the circle of truth. It's inside the circle of truth.
So great. All right, let's get into some of the questions here that we have for this evening for the folks that are watching and have caught last episode and read last issue. Let's see if you guys are paying attention. Again, as we mentioned, we have this.
I have to throw my silencer.
And John has his mystery X-Men box that he will be soon raffling off as we decide when we want to do that. What's going on, Dave? Dave in the house. He made it. Dave, you made it just in time for the raffle question, so you could get your name on here. I think we may even have you already.
He's got a lot of comedy points.
Oh, there you go. Comedy. Yeah, let's get some comedy in here.
So the way it works is the first correct answer, you get a raffle ticket for the overall, and you get 2 points on the standings, the scorecard. Second correct answer gets 1 point on the overall scorecard. And then a comedy point for the funniest answer also goes on the scorecard. So there's lots of ways to get some points and to play and have a good time with us tonight.
Spot on. So let's start it off. John, you want to go first?
Absolutely. The highlight for me last week was when the team appeared wearing sort of uniforms for the first time. What article of clothing was everyone wearing? Everybody showed up in uniform for the first time. This new team wasn't really known for like a cohesive uniform look. They really have a spectrum going. But that was a key part of issue 118, like a spec alert, new uniforms.
It was St. Patty's Day recently, so
I see one correct answer so far. So I don't see the second one yet.
Oh.
I don't think I can count that second one. I'll count Comics Kings as the second one. So Lasso is right. It was green sweaters. Apparently they were getting ready for Christmas a little bit early. So I'll give the single point to Comics King says they were in sweaters, and then he says green sweaters. So I'll give Brandon. Where are you at, Brandon? Comics Kings, where you at? I know you got you on here. There you are. But yes, that was the amazing outfits they were wearing. And let's see, comedically, I'm gonna go with Ka-Chung with Doc Martens. I think that's pretty hilarious. They did
going to a
like
Biohazard concert.
dressed as the village turtle. They were turtlenecks. But Kachung, I'm going to give you a comedy point there for the Doc Martens because that's a look that I don't think anybody's prepared for.
Oh, I missed this. Very good, very good. Hey, we got Alonzo in the house from Team Nerd Herd. What's going on? You're right in time for the questions, the trivia, man. So speaking of, I got question number 2 for you guys. My first question: who did we meet that was their first appearance in last issue? There was someone that we met for the first time last issue, and it was considered their first appearance.
Mega Grail Key.
Could be.
Be ready.
Could be MCU status. Let's see. Who did we meet as their first appearance from last issue?
Oh, I see it already.
So we got Brandon up top here as coming in first, and I have Jackson Roy Kirk as the second.
I have Jackson Roy Kirk in second as well.
Okay, so Brandon first. 2
for Brandon, 1 for Jackson Roy Kirk. And Desired Comics says my baby mama. That's a solid.
Alonzo says Miracle Molly.
You're already out, Alonzo. You're out. Unacceptable.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Which was the correct answer? The first appearance?
Mariko.
Mariko.
Come on, guys.
No?
Did I say it wrong?
No. 118 is Mariko's first appearance.
Yeah, that's the issue we're talking about. The last issue.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
My bad.
Yeah. Diana Ross.
I'm still cooked on tonight.
Yeah. Diana Ross.
F minus Alonzo. John, what's your second question?
Oh, yeah. My second question is, despite the awesome new turtleneck green sweaters they were sporting, apparently 2 team members decided to opt out. So we couldn't even have a full set. Which 2 team members chose not to wear the green sweaters? You could probably guess one of them right off the bat. But do you know both?
We need 2 names, folks.
Not doing it. They're like not having the green sweater. See, you'd think Storm, Brandon, but no, she even did like the rolled up, like almost off the shoulder look. Like she went flash dance on this. Like she was doing it.
Flash dance.
She was having it.
It was Morph.
But I got Lasso and then Jackson Roy Kirk again. Yeah, it was Logan and Kirk not having it.
Lasso first, right?
Lasso first.
All right.
And then Jackson Roy Kirk, second place there.
Yep. Remember, guys, you can earn a point with some comedy if you have something fun, something clever. Keep that in mind.
Gotta love a good flash dance reference, right? How often do you get those anymore?
It's true, very true.
Angel and Iceman.
Yeah.
They're too cool for that.
Yeah, they're too cool.
John and Justin. Yes. Brandon with the yes. They didn't send us our sweaters. I would have totally have worn that.
Yeah, same. Hey, Shattered Glass in the house. What's going on, Shattered Glass?
All right, last question.
Yes, last question is what is the name of the giant gold robots that we saw from last issue? We even got to see them again in this issue. What was their actual name or title?
It wasn't Fembots, as TJ said earlier.
No,
not the Fembots. They're not the Fembots.
I was really just about to say that.
I saw that.
See if
I saw one correct answer and I see another.
Nice.
Dark Troopers.
Yeah. Jackson Roy Kirk with 2 points and a raffle ticket. Magic Lasso with 1 point. Continuing on. Goldbot. That's pretty funny. Thanks, Eric. I thought we had some pretty good questions tonight. It was a pretty hilarious, awesome issue last time. The robot in the Jetsons. You don't even know the robot's name on the Jetsons.
Oh, come on, Alonzo.
She's gonna be very upset with you. The Oscars. TJ with the comedy point. There you go, brother.
That's a really good one.
That's a good. If you weren't gonna go with Fembots, then that's the next best comedy nugget there.
Oh, Eric's
C3POs.
That's pretty good too.
Oh,
on steroids, man.
That's
very
tight.
funny. Too many clones of they were definitely the like jacked up version, right? Hitting the gym.
Rosie.
There you
Rosie, see?
Oh man. All right, guys. This is just some last minute things. Make sure you guys catch next episode. Is going to be over on John's channel. As always, we go back and forth. I think we have a guest as well. We're going to have issues. Am I correct in saying that? Did I tell you that?
I didn't. I had no guest for next week.
Oh, I think I meant to. I think I was supposed to tell you that, and I forgot.
I got issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris is joining us.
So yeah,
Nice.
so I'll double check with him later. But
and I know we got in 2 weeks. We got White Whale Comics because he is a huge Alpha Flight fan, so he's going to be here for that key.
Yep, that'll be good. That'll be good. So my man Chet, dude, thank you so much as always for joining us. If you guys are not following him, man, make sure you follow him. I put his information below. Yeah, man, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. I always have fun with you guys. You guys make this stuff fun for me, and I appreciate it.
Likewise, always. So that's about it for today. We will catch you guys, like I said, next week over on John's channel, same time, 9:00 Eastern. We'll break down 120, which is another exciting issue that I'm looking forward to. So until then, we will catch all you guys next week.